How's it, everyone? Jacques from Dapper Shaves. We're going to do a honing video, particularly setting the bevel on this beautiful Hamburg Ring, which I'm restoring and honing for a customer. Actually a good supporter and a patron of this channel. He's also sent me the stone. This is a vintage Washita. So it's a Novaculite. It's a coarse Novaculite. You'll see they're made in the USA. These stones are typically used as an oil stone. And we're going to set the bevel on this. Having said that, being coarse, being a natural stone, but being not very porous, I think we can push the edge a whole lot further. So I'm going to set the bevel. See if I can get a shave ready edge of that, do a video of that maybe, and if the edge is then not great, which I'm not quite sure what to expect, I'll finish it on a black arc. Arkansas. I've been told that it's not Arkansas. Yes, I know it's pronounced Arkansas, but I don't see any saw in there, so in any case, we'll, if that doesn't work, we'll finish on that, and then we've got a full-blown start to finish Arkansas edge, Arkansas edge on this razor. So the stone's been flat. As I say, they are used with water, with oil. This stone I don't find porous, so I would you can use it with oil. I'm going to just use a soapy solution. This is a diamond plate. All I'm doing is I'm just releasing some of the cutting particle in the stone to get the abrasive going. This razor, as I said, is essentially blunt. It's come off polishing and cleaning, so there is a bit of a bevel on there, but there is essentially nothing. This thing's extremely dull, so we're going to use the stone. They use oil obviously to lift the swarf out of the pores to ensure that the stone doesn't glaze over and lose its cutting capabilities. But I found, and I like water with a soapy solution. You'll quickly see the slurry cutting abrasive is turning quite quickly in color, so it is definitely removing steel. If I didn't know any better, and I don't know Washitas, I had to go and do a little bit of studying myself to understand them. I would have thought these were actually some kind of sandstone. It's got a very, and when I say sandstone, I mean very, very fine, very dense, and a whole lot harder. It doesn't seem to easily break loose those silica particles. I am applying some edge biased pressure to make sure the stone is really hitting the apex. Being Novaculite and silica, I know that's not going to break down quickly, so I'm just gonna keep pushing this and see where we end up. With pressure, this stone really cuts quick. I'm surprised. People say these stones are slow, and yes, I'm definitely not going to try to compare this to a diamond stone, but it definitely can cut. I've been told this is, because it's so dense, it was most likely initially when they mined Washitas, and by the way, you can't find them anymore, they don't mine them. I'm not sure if it's depleted, I believe so. But these essentially they mined between 1900 and 1930. and depending on how fine or coarse they were sold and marketed that way. So you would get a pike 1 and a 2 and a 3, and you get lily whites and a bunch of other stones. So this one is for me non-porous, dense, more closer together. So I don't know what that is. What I do know is that these stones are obviously to do hard lifting and hard work. So the more coarse it is, the less dense it is, and the more the particles become loose, I would say that is actually the stone you would want for the purposes of doing heavy lifting. On a razor in a good condition, you don't need to do, you move huge amounts of steel. So for razor purposes, I think it's quite useful, and that's why we're doing the video. I didn't create a slurry, just some water, and even with that, as I work the stone, you will see it cut, but very slowly. So we're going to just put a little bit of soapy water on the stone, and then just very briefly, just release some of the particles, because as you work it, some particles, they'll keep loosening more, and that's how the stone works. I don't think it's a stone that's going to wear very quickly. Time will tell. People say they stay quite flat for a long time, and I would guess if I use a little diamond plate on this on a regular basis, you should essentially maintain the stone in a working condition indefinitely. But time will tell. So Ian, I just said there the stone's most likely going to end up here indefinitely. So I really like the sensation from this, and I can, if I've got to take a guess, I think we already have set the bevel. So we'll just work this for a moment and then use a little loop to inspect what's going on, and then see what's what. So if you've got to try and put it into the family of Novaculites, you would get this right at the bottom as your coarsest. Then you get the soft Arkansas, you get a hard Arkansas, you get the translucent, and you get a black Arkansas. Folk will call stones bunch of other names, blue blacks and surgical blacks and whatever. It's essentially a black arc. So don't fall into names again. Just get a stone you want for that purpose, specifically from Dan's, and just move on. Tell them it's for razor, they'll find you a good one and send it on. My camera's in the way, so I need to. Well, if I've got to go by looks, this looks very good. I'm quite sure this is already in a shave ready condition. Not shave ready. The bevel set, I'm quite sure of that. Not quite at the toe. Starting to take hairs towards the heel maybe. So very close. In fact, there's a lot of hair that came off. So I think we're getting there. Let's put a bit more slurry. And then it would seem that this video is going a bit quicker than I would have thought. Then we'll try and finish on the stone for shave ready edge. So we said the middle and the heel felt better. It's the toe that seems to require a bit more love. So we'll focus on that. Slightly edge biased. I do not hone to create a burr. To be honest, I'm not sure if you'd be capable of raising a burr with a stone using the slurry method, because those abrasive particles will just keep knocking off that edge, I would guess. The stone's feedback is very, very good. I can actually feel where the problem areas are, or the underdefined areas, which is this inside. It also sounds different, much smoother. So we're very nearly there, I think. And I'm just going to keep working this. I've seen guys use this, it actually becomes black. It looks like somebody poured ink onto the stone and they just keep going. So it looks like the underlay gets a little bit darker, so there is obviously swarf, I think, settling in there. But I like the soap, so we'll just give it a quick rinse. And this is a biodegradable soap, so look there, stone, clean again. No issues. So let's give this a light slurry and then see if we can get a decent bevel on it and then push the limits. Oil would obviously work very, very good on this, mineral oil. DW40, it's not something I would use, but you can. But for me, I think I'll just stick for the moment with what I know, and that's water soap based stuff. You can also make this, so dressing on these stones like any other stone. If you're going to dress it, let's say with a coarse diamond plate of 140, you're going to not necessarily need to use a little plate like this to create a slurry. If it's that coarse, the dressing, then those bits will come loose by itself, and so you just keep working the stone. So if you've got really heavy lifting, finish the stone quite coarse. I finished this one at least 400, just for the purposes of this. I've never really done any stones in any shape or form coarser than that. And yeah guys, I think we have got a bevel set here. What I want to do is just very lightly do a couple of strokes with no particles in, just to take off any little, just improve the sharpness, actually what I want to say. If you've got that heavy slurry going, those piece particles will keep hitting the apex, so it won't really get sharp, and that's why I just use clean water on the stone, just to make sure I've got it sharp. And then where I've got enough arm hairs. Here we go. It's taking hairs, and I think a lot better than I think it does. Yeah, no, it's flying. So it is, yeah, no, there we go. I just need to work it. So my statement around if we can maybe get shaving of this, I'm not that convinced. But let's switch in hand and see if we can improve the keenness of the edge of a core stone. And maybe with this, I think we also need to maybe do spine leading strokes. And I think dressing the stone finer is also going to make a difference. So let's just reduce the weight here as much as I can. Yeah, if I feel the steel on the stone, I highly doubt that you're going to get a comfortable shave of this. I know it will shave, but I don't think it's going to be very comfortable. Just, you can feel that the rough grain structure, even though it is smooth to the touch with your fingers. But you never know until you've tried it, so we're definitely going to try that. I just want to maybe just make sure we've got something going here. Okay, and is this going to make a bigger difference, cutting hairs? Yes, no, exactly, there we go. Effortlessly taking hair. So bevel set, that on a Washita. What I want to do now is see if we can move this onto a shave ready edge. Oil is going to provide you with that lovely slip and slide. If you use the stone as is, you're not going to get that. That's why I use a little bit of this. And moreover, the abrasive particles in the slurry, it gives the steel something to glide on. Slurry is also lubrication. So we've worked heavily on the bevel, and you'll see the bevel there quite nicely. But you can go and look at the spine wear, and there isn't any really. And that is because I'm using a slight edge bias to set the bevel. And then when we move on to the black arc, if we go there, then that's got no cutting capability. That's just polishing and refining. Let me see what it looks like. Sorry, I've just got water on the loop. Yeah, guys, bevel is set. It's got that typical sandblast look you would get from a natural stone, and it is sharp. So let's see if we can make this a little bit finer. I said I dressed the other side slightly different. If I can't recall if I mentioned it, but the other side I made a little bit finer, dressing wise. So I've got some overspray with water onto a razor that's lying here, so I just need to wipe that down. That's a mistake on my behalf. It's this Bengal I'm also restoring for the same customer. Once again, thank you for your support, sir, and giving me the opportunities to try all these different stones. So here we go. No slurry. We're going to really back off the pressure. And we're going to see how far we can push a vintage Washita. I think this stone would put an excellent edge on a kitchen knife very, very quickly. You see, it can set a bevel on a razor also quite easily using a slurry method. This Solingen steel from the 1930s, I would guess, is around 62, 61 Rockwell about. The carbon steel. And this I think I should be doing under running water, but that's going to be difficult for me here. So I think running water will give you a significant improvement, because on each stroke, anything loose, large, abrasive that can impact the edge gets washed away immediately. So I'll maybe try that off camera, but I want to show you guys what we can do, what's possible. So, yeah, I think this is going to be a rough shave even with this finer side on the light touch. So really, for the purposes of this video, I think we're just going to stop here. I've shown how the bevel set. What I want to do is I want to see if this will tree top. So we've set the bevel. It is a natural stone. Edge is nice and easy and clean. No chips. Doesn't seem to have burr, loose pieces of steel. So let's just strap this and then see if it will do a tree top. If it tree tops without a lot of roughness, then maybe we're in with a chance for a shave. Other than that, guys, thank you for those that is supporting this channel, new subscribers, people enjoying the content. I appreciate that. Keep asking your questions. And then I'll see you guys on the next video. Let's quickly see what this does. If this will tree top. Yeah, no. Yeah, it takes 1 or 2 years. Takes 1 or 2 years. In no spectacular fashion, but it is taking years. Maybe a leather strap will improve that, but I don't think I've got high hopes for a great quality shave. In any case, you will either see me shaving with this razor on a video, or you will be seeing me doing the finishing steps on a black Arkansas and then having a shave with that. So I want to see if we go from a Washita, the coarsest, roughest stone in the Novaculite range, to one of the finest, densest, least aggressive stones. So coarse to fine in one step, and then see if we can get a reasonable shave edge off it. I think we can, based on how natural stones work. So I want to thank everybody for watching. I'm going to put this razor down here. Hope you found it at least entertaining, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.